Hello everybody, Matt here, and welcome back to another episode of CPTV.
And I'm Mark 4.
So, as you may have figured, I recently saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And before you get the wrong idea from how this video is titled, I would like to start off by clarifying that I actually really enjoyed this movie. No sarcasm in the slightest. This was a really fun experience. The animation is solid, the references are golden, the characters are fun, the music is perfection, and of course, Chris Pratt actually turned out to be a great Mario. Huh, who knew?
Thank you for tuning in for today's episode of Matt Called It.
And just like with any enjoyable movie, the critics are being massive killjoys. I mean, even I have criticisms that I'm getting into later, but 56%? Really? That seems a little harsh.
I even remember one critic was quoted as saying it's Illumination's worst movie. Sure.
Now, something I keep hearing about this movie is how much a better video game adaptation it is compared to the Sonic movie. Ever since the first trailer dropped, every hardcore Mario fan was convinced this was gonna blow the Sonic movie out of the water. So, now that the movie's out, the burning question remains: did it really top the Sonic movie? Well, as a watcher and fan of both movies, I am here to confirm the answer to that question is almost. Almost. Yep, the Mario movie almost beat the Sonic movie. Despite the fact that the Mario movie pretty much had every perfect ingredient for a video game movie, including animation, acting, faithfulness to the game, etc., there's one big problem that unfortunately robs the movie of a potentially perfect rank. It all boils down to one thing the Sonic movie consistently remembered to do.
I know I have to leave Earth to be safe, but what if Longclaw was wrong? Maybe I could have a life here.
I think that irony just gave me whiplash.
Yeah, as ironic as it sounds, the one thing that really helped the Sonic movie was remembering to slow down, taking a breather, giving the audience moments to let the story sink in and for the characters to develop, allowing them to become more interesting. As good as the Mario movie was in certain other areas, the writers seem to be plagued with this fear that it'll lose little kids' attention spans if it slows down or gives characters too many emotional moments. So the movie constantly feels like Mario 64 on speedrun mode. This is probably the only element where Illumination's fingerprints are really visible.
Well, that along with the blatantly obvious Secret Life of Pets commercial.
Anyways, if you're kind of confused where I'm getting at, here's a good example. There's a scene where Mario meets Peach for the very first time, and we get the classic slow-mo, love-at-first-sight moment. One of those fun cliches. Sounds pretty cute, right? Bound to make some shipper hearts jump for joy and all that. A nice, simple, charming love story that everyone can appreciate.
Well, I hope you did enjoy that, because their potential romance will never be touched upon again for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, more or less. How fun would it have been to keep this little dynamic going? Like, maybe Peach is still introduced as a stern, wise princess who's seemingly a pitch-perfect leader at first, but then as soon as a possible romance is brought to the table, it kinda throws her off and she has to regain focus. I'm not saying she should degrade from being a strong leader, I'm just saying maybe you work her back up to that point. It would make her really interesting. Another more brief example is when Mario and Donkey Kong start arguing in one scene. They get to the point in their argument when they realize they both have dads that pressure them. It was at this point that I was thinking, holy cow, this could be a really neat character building moment. But nope, movie goes next scene and we never mention the parallel again. Now, while this problem doesn't ruin the movie for me or anything, it's still an overarching problem nonetheless that kinda lingers throughout the whole thing. It's not so much that the character growth isn't there, it's just that they don't commit to it. The movie definitely seems to be prioritizing references and Easter eggs over story and characters. And don't get me wrong, I love references and Easter eggs. That's why I enjoy Marvel movies so much. But if Easter eggs are gonna sacrifice a good story, I would much rather have a good story. To me, this movie would have been the perfect opportunity to give Mario characters the one thing they've sorely needed over the years, in my opinion. Character growth. Though I might be in the minority there, since most Nintendo fans would just say, oh come on, it's Mario, everyone loves him already, he doesn't need to be crazy in depth or anything.
No offense, but the most popular character in all of video game history should have more personality outside of saying wahoo.
This is why in my mind the Sonic movie cannot be touched by Mario, because they embraced the unique character that Sonic is and even expanded on it. I mean, think about it. What is Sonic's character? He's cocky, quick thinking, a little stubborn, but he's also got a big heart and cares for others. He's independent but still a little kid. He's got a rough past but prefers not to let it drag him down. He's got plenty of flaws, but that is what makes him an interesting character. And that's just Sonic. I could spend several videos going into other characters. Now look at Mario. What do we know about him? He likes Italian food? And what does the movie do with him? He likes Italian food and wants to rescue Luigi? I don't know, that's all I got.
Dear Nintendo, if SMG4 does more work with character arcs than your actual franchise, I think you've done something wrong.
I guess in a way, both movies are honoring their respective franchises. Sonic has always been about in-depth characters, and Mario has always been more about style and pizzazz. In conclusion, I'd say a somewhat weak story was the only real flaw in the Super Mario movie, which some could argue really brings the movie down, but honestly, I can still see the care and passion that went into this thing. It's far from being a bad movie like the critics are saying, and definitely better than their first attempt. It's just a shame that these characters didn't get their opportunity to get some development. I don't know, maybe they'll make more room for that in the sequel. As is, Sonic still triumphs over Mario in the same area it always has in my opinion, story and character. And once again, I'd like to reiterate that I did really like the Mario movie. Despite that one glaring issue I have, I'm still really glad I saw it, and would likely see it again. And when you think about it, this was Illumination giving us a Super Mario Bros. Movie. This could have been a lot worse, but the 10 years of hard work and dedication definitely showed in the final product. You know, this was nice. It's been a while since we've done this.
You know what else has been a while? Your Sonic series.